Hey guys, it's Simply Obsessed, and welcome to part 2 of my Sims 4 Landgraab Estate speed build. Now, this part is a continuation of part 1, obviously, since it's called part 2. And if you want to check out part 1 and see how this got started and all the awesomeness that took place to get me where I am now, I will leave that link in the description box below. I also want to tell you that this home is available in the Sims 4 gallery. My origin ID is SimplyObsessed28. You can search for this home using hashtag SimplyObsessed or SimplyObsessed28. Now, on to the build. As you can see here, I continued where I left off. I'm finishing up this bedroom. I added the fireplace and a flat screen TV over that fireplace. The original home did not have a bedroom. Oh, it did have a bedroom. It did not have a television in the bedroom. At least I don't think so. I can't remember. But the color is a lot different. The original home had dark brown floors in red, and I didn't want to do that, so I decided to do nice gray, white, and like a baby powder blue. And here I'm working on the bathroom. Now you can see two little black dots. Those are the pillars that are sticking up from the bottom. I went ahead and fixed that. In part 1 I was explaining how they were sticking up a bit. So I did go ahead and fix those so that way I could place the counters the way I wanted them in this bathroom. I love this bathroom. It's so roomy. I love how the tub is in the middle of the room. It's not like stuck up against the wall. It's really fancy and stuff. It took me a minute to figure out what type of counters I wanted to use or if I wanted to place sinks, but I did decide to go with counters. The bathroom layout, there I am fixing the pillars so that way they don't stick out, stick up through the floor. But this bathroom, what was I saying? I lost my train of thought. Whatevs. But the layout of this bathroom is pretty much exactly the way it was in the original home. Every sink, every tub and toilet and plant and chair is exactly where it was in the original home. The color scheme is a little different. The tile under the tub is white marble. The original home had black and white checkered print. Didn't really like that, so I changed it. This is another one of my favorite rooms here. I love the dining room and this bathroom. Most favorite rooms ever. I think this is my bestest bathroom that I've ever made. It's so roomy, it's so beautiful, it's so different than anything I've ever done, and I'm extremely proud of it. And what am I doing now? Oh, so in part 1 I explained how the stairs gave me a little bit of trouble, and it took me a long time to get the stairs right. I changed the color. They're not going to be dark brown. They're going to be white, but they weren't aligned perfectly, and I wanted the loft type thing to where you could see downstairs. And oh my god, it took me so long to figure out how to do that, and I thought I was losing my mind because I've done it before, but I could not for the life of me figure out how to do it again. So at one point, I like paused what I was doing. I stopped what I was doing, and I was like, you know what? Let me Google this real quick. So I was Googling how to do it. Like, how the heck do you have the loft thing to where you're upstairs, but you can see downstairs? And eventually I figured it out. You can see me messing around with railings. So basically, I'm going to make sure I remember this from now on. If you want the loft type thing to where you're upstairs, you have the hall and the railing and all that, and you want to see downstairs, basically what you do is you place the stairs where you want them, and you place the railing for how you want the upstairs to be. And any place that's not within that railing area that's pretended to room, any place that's not in that rail room will be deleted when you use the sledgehammer thingy. I hope I explained that pretty well. But yeah, it really got to me. It took a long time for me to fix that. Over here, I'm working on, do I start adding stuff? That square that I just added will be the next bedroom. Back here I'm adding pillars, and I'm creating the TV area, theater area space. Now this is another problem area that I came into when recreating this home. I made a big boo-boo. So I placed the TV and everything in here. Everything's looking good, looking great. When I started to plan this house, I made a mistake in my calculations and made one corner one square over one square more than it needed to be, and it threw everything off. So you'll see that this area will be finished, but towards the end, I don't know if I recorded it because I was just so frustrated, but I did go ahead and take down this entire area and start all over again because the view from the backyard made it look like something wasn't right, something was a little too far over, and I'm a perfectionist. I could not have it like that, so I just chopped that part of the house off and I started over again. Not sure if I recorded it, so you might not see me fix it, but towards the end of this video you will notice that, I don't know if you'll notice it, but it will be fixed. I love this room. It's kind of an awkward place for it. I mean, upstairs, I don't know, I just think that's a little odd. You go upstairs and then there's like a theater TV type area place thingy. I don't know, but I mean, it looks good to me. I just wouldn't have it there in my home. Here I am adding lights, lots of lights. The hallway has the same flooring as downstairs. Didn't add carpet or anything. I don't think there's any carpet. Well, there's rugs in this room, but I don't think there's any carpet throughout this house except for that whole TV sitting area thingy. Yep, so here I am messing with those steps again, trying to figure out how to do the loft type thing to where I can sit down, you know, not sit down, to where I can see downstairs. Took me a long time, guys, like seriously. I said it in the first part. There were so many things that went wrong when I was building this house. So many hiccups, so many times where I was like, what the hell am I doing? Oops, language. What the heck am I doing? I want it to look perfect, but like it seems like the world is against me and I'm not supposed to finish this house. That's what it felt like. But I'm glad that I finished it. It's just so big and it's like nothing I've ever done before. And I'm going to toot my own horn. I'm really proud of how it turned out. Down here, I'm just adjusting the pillars, adding them to each side of the door. Let's see. What am I doing now? Adding the walls. That reminds me, I don't know what the technical term is for the paint that you see, you know, the wall type for the second floor. I don't know what that's called, but I really like it. Now I'm adding railing to this little patio area. It really bugs me that there's small, like teensy tiny fencing, because when I'm getting ready to place it in my build, I don't know that it's tiny, so I'm like, what the heck am I looking at? And it's really small, but figured it out. I fixed it. I added some fencing to the doorway, and down there I just added a piece of fence and a pillar, so that way I make sure I use the right one every time I reach for one. I just like grab the eyedropper, copy from there to make sure that I was using the same thing. I didn't want to accidentally grab a different type of fence and then realize it after I upload it to the gallery for the world to see. Just adding more patio space, adding the fencing and the doors, and I added a square of the floor, so that way I make sure I use the right color in the right spot. I don't want any inconsistencies. There I am. What am I doing now? Filling in a few things. I don't know if you can tell, but in that it's really fast because it's a speed build, but I saw how that little area above the pillars in the back was just a little off. Like, it seemed like half the room leaned a little bit too much to the right, so that's why I did it over again. And I think I start adding windows here. What do I do here? I'm adding the marble floors upstairs. I'm adding the wallpaper upstairs, adding some windows, and yep, basically just adding windows. The excitement of adding windows, adjusting a few things. What else am I doing? Oh, yeah, I added the doors to the upstairs patio areas because you can't get out there if you don't have a door. So just adding some doors. What else am I doing? Okay, so I'm just adding lights because I really don't like how dark that hallway is. Even though I added the lights there, for some reason it still seems like a dark hallway. But hey, it's finished now. It still looks good. It's just kind of dark for my taste. Now I'm working on the second bedroom. I placed the beds outside so that way I can see exactly what color they were. It was kind of dark in there. You can see I added some random lights just to brighten it up a bit so I could see what I was doing. I was tempted to go the modern route. I really was, but I was like, no, let's stick with the theme. I was picturing Malcolm Landgraab as a grown-up in this room, so I didn't want to add anything pink. I don't know why, but I feel like I tried to think of the original homeowner when I'm recreating the house, but then again I'm like, well, they're not gonna live here, you know, a random sim is gonna live here unless you add that family to this home. So I tried to stay away from limiting myself because, you know, Malcolm is a dude and I didn't want him to have a pink room. There's nothing wrong with that, you know, if that's what you want for your male sim, but I didn't want to take it too far from where the original owners might like. But then I was like, hey, you know, just have fun with it. So I stayed away from pink, I stayed away from blue, and I came up with this brown bedroom. It's kind of dark, but I love how it looks. I gave it a flat screen TV, an expensive fancy mirror that was over 2,000 simoleons, and I think that painting that I used in this room was about 8,000 simoleons. So like I said in part 1, your sims better be bringing in the dough because this house is crazy expensive. It's the most expensive house I've ever built. If you didn't see part 1, I'm going to let you know this house is almost 300,000 simoleons furnished. And yeah, I've never built anything that expensive before. I redid the Metropolitan Lofts from Sunset Valley where the Working Friends household lived, and that wasn't as expensive as this home. Mainly because I guess it's because of things, and it's not really the home itself that's expensive, it's a lot of the things you add to the home, like the $8,000 paintings and the $3,000 televisions, and the bed that I used in the bedroom next to the one I'm working on now. I think that was like 12,000 simoleons. So it's a lot of expensive things in this home, but you know, there's nothing wrong with living that type of life if you got the dough. This is the third and final bedroom. It was really easy to make. Stuck some generic wallpaper in there and a brown, beige, whatever type rug. I like the way this room turned out. I don't know, it's not my favorite room. It's kind of bland and boring, but I wanted to stick with the overall feel from the original house. It doesn't have the exact same color and look, but everything's in the exact same place. I wanted that same kind of classic froofy feel. So yeah, this is what I came up with. I love the lights on the wall. I don't think I switched those out. I really liked how they looked, and like all the other rooms, the other bedrooms, this room has a flat screen TV, and I'm just adjusting some things in the other bedroom. I don't think I stuck with that chair. I thought it was a bit much, like too crowded, so I took that chair out of that spare bedroom, and I'm working on the bathroom, this tiny 3x3 bathroom. I like this bathroom. I didn't really struggle like I did with the downstairs bathrooms. I had an idea in mind for the color scheme, you know, threw a couple things in there, through the tub, through the sink, through the toilet, and wham bam, it was done. I really like it. It's my favorite bathroom. Well, no, because the main bathroom that I just did with the tub in the middle is my favorite, like all-time favorite bathroom. But this is a nice bathroom. I don't hate it. I think it looks good. There was barely any room to add many things, so it's pretty simple but fancy at the same time. And what am I doing up here? I sledgehammered some things. Alright, girly, what was I doing? And back here, I think is when I decided to... Did I fix it? I can't tell. Yeah, so I went ahead and I fixed the mistake that I had with this TV area off camera. It took me like 3 hours, not 3 hours, I'm being dramatic. It took me about an hour to go ahead and fix it, and I just didn't want to record that. I figured nobody wants to watch that. They know what the room's gonna look like anyway. So I'm just, you know, adding the furniture that was in there previously. And here I am working on the tippy top floor. On this part, I'm just adding the wood flooring before I add some false windows to the 3rd floor before I start adding the roof. I don't know if I do the roof before I do the backyard. I think I did I'm not sure. We'll see. The roof was terrible. Another just traumatic experience when creating this house. I'm not sure if it's all on camera, but I could not figure out roofing. I know I'm not the only one who deals with this. A lot of times on Facebook, a lot of simmers will be like, this house is gorgeous, I just don't know what to do with the roof, or why don't we have auto roof? Man, oh man, it took me a minute to figure out how to put a roof on this house. I was looking at the pictures of the original house, and I didn't necessarily have to have the roof look the same. I just wanted it to look nice, and it took me a minute. Oh geez, did it take me a minute? And I figured it out eventually. You'll see my trial and error, but it turned out pretty nice. After I figured out exactly how to do the roofing, I think I chose a color for the roof. I'm not sure what order I did things, I can't remember. But I mean, the roof is a dark color. It's either black or dark brown, and I think that matches the rest of the house. But man, why is roofing so difficult? It is the hardest part of it. Could be a really small, simple house, and I'll just get stuck not knowing what to do for the roof. Like, that's something I'm going to work on. I'm going to watch some videos, I'm going to study a few things, and I'm going to work on roofing, because it shouldn't be that hard. I know, and I see people who build like castles and stuff, and their roofs are perfect, and they don't look like they ever have problems doing it. So I want to be like them when I grow up. What am I doing here? Adding the pillars to the outside of the 3rd floor. And what else? I was saving. Always save your games. You don't know how many times I have started a game with a perfect family and the perfect house, and the Sims will be like, you know what? I want to crash right now, and I lost everything. So save, and save often. Alrighty, so we're back at the roof. I really feel like I should just skip through this part. It's basically going to be me trying to figure out that I should have added flooring on top of the mini room like maze thing that you see, so that way the roof would fit perfectly. I don't want to bore you with my mistakes, so I'm going to go ahead and skip through this part. And through the magic of editing, my roof looks perfect. I didn't realize, it took me a long time to figure this out, that I should have added flooring to the top of the whole maze situation thing I had going, and then the roof will look perfect. It's nothing like the roofing on the original house, but I'm pretty proud of it because it took me a long time to figure this out. And I know I'm not the only one. Roofing really just, oh gosh, it takes a long time for me, but that's something I really want to practice and work on, and that'll really help me build houses a lot faster, because I could have a house done in like an hour and a half and then spend 40 years just trying to do the roof. But yeah, it worked out nice. Here are some trees. I wanted to add some of the same trees that you see in front of the original house, so I added a couple of those. Back here, I'm working on the long extended deck, and adding some lights. Do I keep the lights? I'm not sure if I keep the lights there, but basically I'm just working on the backyard. I wanted to have a bridge over the pool. That didn't work out for me. I didn't have the bridge over the pool. I would love to have a bridge over the pool. If anybody knows how to have a bridge over your pool in The Sims 4, or can, you know, leave a link to a tutorial or something on how to do that, please do, because I really wanted to have this patio go over the pool so that way your Sims could swim under it. I thought that would be pretty nice, but it didn't work out that way. So it took me a minute to get the pool right. Not as long as, you know, the bathrooms and the roofing, but it took a minute to get the pool looking good. I love the way it turned out. It's not exactly the way it was in the original home, but it's a pretty nice looking pool. What am I doing here? Fixing the stairs, fixing the steps, starting over again on the extended patio area. Yeah, it took me a couple tries. I like how it turned out, but it took me a couple tries. It didn't take as long, like I said, as the wallpaper or the roofing, but it took a couple tries. So let's see how long. Did I get it right this time? Is that the finished product? Is it? I think so, because I'm adding pillars. Do I stick with it? What do I do? Oh, I was thinking about adding roofing to this area over here because there's a roof in the original house, but I had had enough at that point. I was so fed up. I was just like, nah, I'm not going to do that. So I'm adding the grill over there. I was thinking about adding a hot tub. Didn't like the way it looked. It looked a little... no. So I'm adding spray paint bricks. It took me a minute to do that as well because I was trying to make them look even. I hate how they look a little zigzag when I do it. I don't have the steadiest hand, so it took a minute for me to do that as well, but I love how it turned out in the end. So let's just watch me fiddle with that and hope to get it right. Now a little later on you'll see that after I added the spray paint bricks, I went ahead and added like a miniature fence, a white miniature fence, so that way it looks like your Sims are guided a certain way, so that way they're not just walking all weird. I don't know how to explain it, but I added like a white outline to the spray paint brick so that way it wasn't just brick then grass. And here's my attempt at making that awesome zigzag maze type thing. I like my version better because it was easier. It doesn't look like the original home at all. Yeah, you see I tried it and I quit and then I went back to the flowers. I'm not sure if you see me adding that white fence type thing I was talking about to the outline of the brick. I don't know if I included that. It might have been something I did after I was finished with the house and just forgot to record. But I like the little garden area. This is my most favorite part of the backyard. I wanted to add the llama, but I don't think it looked right. It looked a little weird. So I took out the llama, I added some more trees, and I put a nice fence there. And I just imagine it being summertime and your Sims are sitting out there at night feeling the hot air and they're just back there reading their favorite book. Like, that's what I would do if I had that little garden area. I would sit there with a book and my dog and just enjoy the night air. There I am adding lights. I add the fountain here. I chose the bigger fountain because this home is just so large and so grand. Why use a small fountain? This is my first time using that fountain. I really like how it is. I really like how it looks. It's really, really big. And is that it for this? Yeah, that's my little garden area. What would I even call that? I don't know. There's my little, I don't know, my escape garden area place. I don't know. Working on the spray paint a bit. I think this is where I add the little white outline to what I was talking about. Is this where I add the... No, I hate the spray paint bricks because I don't, there it is. I don't have the steadiest hand, so I'm trying to be perfect. In The Sims, this is The Sims. In The Sims 3, I would just like add bricks over it and then spray paint, because then, you know, the spray paint wouldn't go through the bricks, but it's a little different in The Sims 4. But yeah, we're coming to the end of this speed build. I hope you enjoyed it. I will post pictures of the finished home afterwards. I'm so thankful for you watching. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. And thanks for watching. I hope you like this house. This house is available in the Sims 4 gallery, so don't forget to download it. And I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.